In this video, I'll be breaking down how much you need to make in order to afford a 2023 Ford Mustang Mach 1. You should really consider following one of these rules in order to avoid making a huge financial mistake that'll end up setting you back for years to come. I've also included a link to a free auto quote where you could save up to $600 a year in the description down below, but more on that later. There are 4 options I'll be going over today. You can decide on which one suits you the best depending on how into cars you are. There are people out there that just want a vehicle that can take them to point A to point B, and then there are others that are really kind of the more car and truck people that are willing to sacrifice a bit more to drive what they really want. Stick around to the end of the video, find out what method would be best for your situation. This is 4-Wheel Finance, a channel dedicated to helping you making smart car buying decisions. Before I dive into the first rule, these videos take quite a lot of time and effort to make, so please click the like and subscribe button, comment down below what other vehicles you would like me to review. The first rule is the 24/10 rule, and this states that you must put at least 20% down, you shouldn't finance it for more than 4 years or 48 months, and the payment shouldn't be more than 10% of your monthly gross income. The 2022 Ford Mustang Mach 1 has an MSRP of $55,270. This would mean you'd need to put down about $11,054 for being 20%. And with the average new vehicle interest rate of 3.86% and a 48-month term, this would bring your monthly payment to $995.59. Take note here that you're also paying about $3,500 in interest. Bank rate states that the average monthly insurance cost is $148, but this varies quite a lot from person to person. It depends where you live, your gender, your age, your driving habits. So use that smart financial link down there in the description. Find out how much it would cost for you to insure something like this, or if you just want to get a lower car insurance payment in total. This brings your monthly total to about $1,143. Going back to that 24/10 rule, given this is your monthly cost, you would need a monthly gross income of 10 times that, or $11,435, which would equate to about $137,230 annually. I encourage you to take a look at the opportunity cost here. If you were to buy a cheaper $10,000 car and put what would be your car payment of about $995.59 in the market instead, over the course of 5 years with a pretty conservative 6% rate of return, this would turn into just under $70,000, gaining almost 10 grand here in interest. Give a look at those Acorns and M1 Finance links I've got in the description down below. They're 2 investing apps and it's super easy to get started. You can literally get started with pennies. If you buy a coffee, for example, for $3.60, 40 cents would go into investments, so you get even whole numbers in your bank account. And this is just for the first 5 years. If you were to continue for 10, it would amount to $162,544, again, just at that 6% of return. And the stock market typically averages around 10% a year, so 6% is pretty conservative. Now this next rule is my own rule, and I've made this up. This is for more of the car and trucks person, as I'm a car person, so I wanted something to where I can invest and save, but still get the vehicle that I wanted. And I think you should have at least a 6-month emergency fund. Invest 15% of your gross income into your 401k, and max out your Roth IRA, and if you really want to be a superstar, your HSA too. And I know this seems like a ton of saving, but I don't give you a monthly percentage rule that you have to stick to in terms of spending. So once you do hit those saving guidelines, you're able to really spend your money on whatever you want to, the rest of your monthly income. If you want to put it on a vehicle, if you'd like to go on more vacations, if you'd like to go out to eat more, etc. I don't give you any rules really in terms of spending once you hit those saving goals. And I just think it's smart to have an emergency fund there, especially if like you're in sales or commission based, or it's just nice to have a little bit of backing there, and it's a lot less stressful making decisions once you've got that emergency fund covered. And the investment portion, I do know it sounds like a lot per month, but it gives you a little bit of financial security later in life when you're most likely going to need it the most. Compound interest is a beautiful thing, and if you can start with even a small amount earlier on, over time it's really going to grow into something pretty special. A lot of people say nothing here is guaranteed, and that's true, but you can't really put a price on having peace of mind for yourself or your future. Third rule here is going to be the Dave Ramsey rule, and he thinks you should have at least a 3 to 6 emergency fund. The vehicle shouldn't be more than 50% of your annual gross income, and you must purchase it in cash. Given the 2023 Ford Mustang Mach 1 starts at $55,270, your annual gross income would need to be a minimum of $110,540. Ideally, it's nice to purchase a vehicle in cash. There are a lot of pros to that, as you would avoid having to pay interest, and your insurance would be a bit lower. But there's a lot of cons too. Not everyone has 55 grand in cash they can put towards a car. And if you were to put that money in the market, there's a chance you could actually be making more over time. The final rule I'll go over today is the 1/10 rule, which was developed by Financial Samurai. Personally, one I think the majority of people trying to build their wealth quickly should consider. It really doesn't allow you to buy a new vehicle, but allows you to spend responsibly, which reduces your financial car ownership stress and increases your net worth over time. It's a pretty straightforward rule. It states that you shouldn't spend more than 10% of your gross annual income on a car. It can be new or old, but obviously it's probably going to be old because the average new vehicle is like 35, 40 grand at least, which would mean you'd need to make $350,000, $400,000 a year to be able to buy a new car. And you need to own it for at least 5 years, but ideally more. And the theory behind that here is just to minimize your financial stress. Frees up a little bit of money to invest in assets or opportunities that may come your way. It's a lot more stressful and difficult making life decisions when you're worried about payments each and every month. Once again, this is 4Wheel Finance. If you have any questions regarding car buying or how much of a car you can afford, please leave them down in the comments below. And give a look at that Smart Financial link. It's a free insurance quote. See if you can lower your monthly payment.